What's up, everybody? Nicholas Kuzmich here from nicholaskuzmich.com, and in this episode of Accelerated Results, I want to tell you exactly the easiest way, or one of the easiest ways, to get accelerated results with all of your marketing campaigns, because frankly, here's where I see most people drop the ball. Now, if you go real back, in fact, before we begin, if you'd like me to be your cornerman, if you'd like me to get back behind your business, kind of do a little digging to find out the areas of the greatest opportunity, and then present a simple 30 to 90 day napkin plan to give you exactly what you need to focus on in your next 90-day sprint in order for you to get the best results possible, simply go to workwithnick.com, workwithnic.com. Get there. It'll help you greatly. I'd love to hop on the phone with you and see how we can get you even better results. So if you have been tracking years now, in the early 40s, I believe, or whatever it was, there was a dude by the name of Vilfredo Pareto came up with this concept that we now know to be true called the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. And simply, the 80-20 rule states that 80% of any result typically comes from 20% of an effort. So if you look at your business, if you look at marketing, if you look at anything, if you have clients, for example, you'd see that 80% of your revenue probably comes from 20% of your best clients or customers. And this was kind of proven across the board. And this is also true for marketing, right? What people generally say is, hey, if you can reach 100% of your people, rather than doing that, try to find the 20% of your ideal prospect, right? The perfect client or customer for you, and focus only on them. Now, this was great advice if you rewind maybe 20 years, but the truth is, if you're anything like me and you're marketing on social, you realize that social is a super busy place, right? There's lots going on social platforms, and if all you do is focus on the 20%, you could be missing out on great opportunity. So here is what I'm suggesting. Before you write any next ad, before you start coming up with your lead magnets, before you get aggressive with the communications and the languaging of your marketing, you need to be very clear on what I call the 4%. And here's what I mean by this. See, the 80-20 rule was great. Pareto was intelligent and smart, and a lot of great things happening here, but I'm going to suggest to you a new rule. Now, I'm calling it the hashtag Kuzmich principle. Hasn't quite caught on like Pareto's has just yet. Maybe I need to pass away before that happens. But here is what I am calling the 96-4 rule. In other words, I want you to think about your market. Think about all the people that you could help ideally, right? Cut it down to the 80-20 rule and say, who is the 20% that I could serve best? And then slice it one time further and find the 20% of the 20%. In other words, the 4%, which I will here on further refer your ideal client or your ideal customer as your 4%. Hey, before we go on, if you want me to help you kind of identify this for your own business, if you want me to help you get very clear on who your people are and how to reach them and how to create marketing and messages and campaigns that actually get these people to respond to you, just go to workwithnick.com. Again, workwithnic.com. Fill out the brief form there. We'll hop on a call and we'll take things further. Now, back to this idea then. Your 4%, this is idea of what some people used to call niching down, right? But here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about your best prospects. I want you to think about the people who've been with you the longest. I want to think about the customers who have paid you the most money over time. And this will start to give you an idea of who your 4% might be. Let me give you a quick example of this. Stella Artois, right? The beer company. One of their taglines years ago was this. Get this. They said that they were reassuringly expensive, right? What a great tagline. They knew exactly who they were going for, and they were unapologetic for everybody else not in their 4%. In fact, the subheadline to that was, we cut no cost in creating and choosing the ingredients for our beer, and then we pass those costs on to you, our customer. I mean, how great is that, right? There's a friend of mine here in the local city of Toronto where I live. was ranked one of the top 10 real estate agents in the city. Now, for perspective, we have something like 50,000 real estate agents. We have something like 5 million people here, and the average income of a real estate agent in this city is approximately $40,000, give or take, right? Now, this guy was ranked as one of the top real estate agents in the city. And how did he get there? Here's the crazy part. He's never actually sold a house. Right? Now, try to get your mind around that, right? He's a real estate agent, but he's never actually sold a house. Why? Because watch this. When he was practicing real estate, he only offered pre-construction condominiums on our lakefront properties to local and international investors. And that's it. Right? It wasn't selling onesie-twosie houses there. It wasn't being all things to all people. It wasn't any of that. He was very clear that his ideal prospect, his 4%, were investors, both locally and internationally, who were looking for condominiums on our lakefront. And that's how he became one of the most top real estate agents in the city. So the case in point here is, what is that for you? So many times I see people advertising and marketing and doing all this stuff on the internet, and they're not clear on who their ideal specific target 4% are. And as a result, it's like just shotgun approaching your messaging. And frankly, on Facebook and other social platforms, general is the death of all things. Specificity is the key to all things. And so if your message is general and you're trying to reach all sorts of people and say all sorts of things to them, you're going to find that the efficacy of your marketing campaigns don't work as well. So instead of trying to be famous to everybody and instead of trying to like get your message out to the people who may not even respond, we want to do what Seth Godin calls being famous to the family. In other words, famous to the 4%, right? When we can get very specific about who our ideal prospect is, the people who we love to work with, the people who spend the most time with us, the people who give us the least grief on our customer service, the people who spend the most money with us over time. We get very clear on who our 4%, and now every single thing you do, all the lead magnets you create, all the content and blog posts that you put out, all the ads that you write, all the offers you construct are only geared now to your 4%, right? It's the difference between being a small fish in a big pond or a big fish in a small pond. You want to be the big fish in the small 4% pond. And it doesn't mean you have to just stay there. You can move into other ponds. But the point here is that your marketing efficacy will be so much stronger when you focus not on the 80%, not on the 20%, but on the 4% where your goal is to be famous to the family, and then all of your marketing and everything you do focuses directly on those folks. Hey guys, if that was beneficial for you, which I hope it was, go ahead and share this with someone who might benefit from it. But more importantly, go ahead and apply it directly into your business right away to start seeing even better results. And hey, if you'd like me to be your coach, to be your consultant, to be your advisor in your business, if you kind of want me unlimited access via cell phone, that kind of thing, I invite you to go to workwithnick.com. Again, workwithnic.com. I'd love to be able to have the opportunity to support you, to counsel you, to advise you, direct you to be able to grow your business. We do have an opportunity for a handful of clients to come work with me in that capacity, and if that's you, I'd love to do that. So workwithnick.com. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Accelerated Results, and I look forward to seeing you and hearing back from you again real soon. Remember, the 4% is where you need to focus. Talk soon.